What's going on, guys? No guys here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're going to talk about top mistakes that a lot of gold players make that elite players do not. I'm going to show you some scenarios what an elite player would do, and in contrast I'll show you and walk you through what a gold player would do and why those elite players make those small minded things that make the big difference in the big games. Here's an example where I have the ball down the wing. Now typically speaking, a gold player would normally get the ball in this situation and normally they'll sometimes go forward or keep running down the line and try to cross the ball in. But in this situation, there's nowhere to go. So the most important thing is recycling the ball. You can see over here with Dembele, I realize there's no one else to pass to, so I go back. But the most important thing is because there's no one in my screen, I'm looking at the radar, I'm saying, okay, there's no one available, I can't pass to anyone. He's defending the cutback, so who else can I pass to? I then glance at the radar and I see my CDM available on the screen. That's the first thing. Using the radar in a situation to see what players are available that are not on the screen. Then once I get the ball outside the box, the key thing is not forcing the ball forward. Yes, I have players in behind, but not really in attacking positions. As you can see, Mbappe, I have the ball over here. Okay, fine. But you see, I don't force the ball forward. I do a 1-2 backwards. Remember, it's 3-3. I'm not winning. I'm not losing either. It's a draw. I'm still trying to look for the win. But the most important thing is you see I do those 1-2 backwards. So even though I don't want to pass to Mbappe, by creating movement, I'm actually creating more space in behind. You see that? What that 1-2 effectively did is Mbappe made a run as soon as he made the pass, but that created that pocket of space over there. Then I recycle the ball and I wait for the play again. As you can see, I wait. Is there a chance for me to make the pass? Even then, no. So what do? I do a 1-2 with Mbappe and then I go back again. You see that going back to the CDMs. And then only once I realize there's a chance for me to pass the ball to Neymar, I then do Elastico and I then clear the goal. But the most important thing is in every single situation I evaluated, is there a chance of me scoring? I'm not going forward just for the sake of it. I'm going forward as a chance. Like over here, for example, right? Okay, if I wanted to beat, for example, this player, I'd have to then beat one of these two players after. It's not a complete one-on-one. So here there was no need for me to go forward. I could have tried, but I probably would have lost the ball and then therefore lost the attack. He could have got the ball and he could have countered me. So what I decided to do is pass the ball to Mbappe. And even over here, the same situation. There is too many players over here. So I do again, I pass upwards, I do a pass backwards. And then once I get the pass now, I do a ball roll. And I see Neymar. Then when I'm over here, it's almost a 1v1 situation. I can then choose to go upwards. I choose to go into the space. Then I do the skill move, the Elastico in the situation to create the angle towards goal. But the most important thing is every single time I get into the final third, I'm evaluating what can I do from here. If I make a pass to Mbappe now, could I break through? No, there's too many players in the way. I do a 1-2 backwards. When I make a pass now, Dembele, can I break through? No, I go back to the CDMs. Every single time I'm making a pass, I'm evaluating, is there a chance for me to go forward? And if there's not, I'm just going backwards. And that's what I would like to say is what's called recycling the ball. I understand there's not a chance available to go forward, passing the ball backwards, making a better use scenario, and then scoring the goal. Second thing I wanted to go, which is very common, is reacting to a mistake that you made. Yes, we can all try to not make mistakes, but sometimes we're angry we make a mistake. In this clip over here, as you can see, I got Renato Sanchez, one of my centre mids, and I run out with him, mistake number 1. In this situation over here, mistake number 2 is with my CDM. I should have just ran back, or I should have kind of tried to close off the angle towards the player. But again, I decided to run towards him, and I'm out of the play. Then I'm left with my back line. Now, initially what I should have done is I should have held my ground and stood still, but I went in for the tackle in the assumption that I could have got the ball. This happens sometimes. You can try to avoid mistakes, but the most important thing is once the mistake has been made, is being proactive. In this situation, you got to think, okay, what do I do? Now, a lot of players would tend to normally rush towards this player and give this player too much space, or they'll rush towards the ball carrier, and that way you create the through ball onto this gap in behind. The most important thing is being proactive and occupying the space as opposed to attacking the danger. So as you can see here, Rodrigo has the ball. So I'm not sure here. Is he going to make a through ball or is he going to run at me? So I position myself just in front of my opponent. That way I can still run backwards if he does make a through ball. Or if he does try to run Rodrigo or tries to do a fake shot past me, I can then react. The positioning here is the most important thing. Then when he passes the ball away, I change my angle, but I see again the 1-2. This is the most important thing, being proactive, realizing what's the biggest danger area here. Now here, as you can see, he's facing away from goal. He took a touch away. The biggest imminent danger is this person making a run in behind, not this person with the ball. So the most important thing is running backwards and occupying the zone where you think the danger is going to be. And as you can see, before the danger even got to that situation, I intercepted the ball. The most important thing is being proactive, understanding where the danger is. When you're defending, you should always think in the back of your head, okay, I've made a mistake, But after the situation, what can my opponent do? There's many things he can do. He could do, for example, a 1-2 backwards and then create a 2v2 situation. When you're going forward, he could do a 1-2 like that, do a 1-2 around. So all the situations you have to think in the back of your head. That's what I'm trying to say. When you're running, when you're ever in doubt, just run back like so. And if you ever are in trouble, you could always react. And as you can see, someone like Mukiele, he's got good tier sprint speed. This is another thing that's important. Someone like Mukiele is a very fast player. If you're using something like Gold Laporte, who's very, very slow, you can't recover in time. So having a fast player, especially a fullback and centre back, or even a fast centre back, someone like Gomez with a shadow card, it makes a big difference, because that way if you make a mistake you can recover. But too many times of using someone with 75 pace or 75 sprint speed, you're not be able to recover in time. So the most important thing is speed also equals to greater recovery. Now the third thing I wanted to talk about is creating space and creating movement. A lot of people, they always watch pro players or their favorite streamer or top tier players and always say, how come those players are making those amazing runs but my players are not? The truth is they're making their players make the runs. It's not AI, it's not their pay to win players like you'd like to think. As you can see, I'm using very cheap players like Gelson Martins. They're making the runs. How? It's because I'm doing the 1-2, I'm making movement. That's what's equally important. We're going to go back all the way to when I win the ball. As you can see, I win the ball like so, okay? I get the ball with Mukiele. Here, my first impression is pass down the middle. Now with Mbappe, I now do a pass. The most important thing over here is I do a 1-2 pass. Look at my controller. I'm doing a 1-2 pass. I'm basically saying, okay, I want to make a pass to this guy, so this player makes a run going forward. If I never did that 1-2, this Dembele wouldn't make that run, and I would be stuck with no one to pass to. Because I did that 1-2, Dembele now makes a run going forward, and that creates more space in this region for me to pass the ball around. So the most important thing is I'm the one that's using the trigger. Don't say the game's not helping me. You should be the one pressing the L1 trigger, doing the 1-2s. With Wan-Bissaka, same thing over here. Sissoko, I get the ball with Mbappe now. Watch, I pass the ball downwards. The exact same thing. Okay, I got the ball with Cancelo. Here, I got no one to pass to. If my opponent comes towards me, he can aggressively just rush towards me and get the ball. I can try to make a pass, but my opponent's got a left back over here. So what do? I press the L1 button and I trigger him forward. Now by triggering him forward, it creates more space and it changed the way my opponent defends. Because I do the L1 trigger, like as you can see, like so. I'm going to show you again. As you can see, the L1 trigger like so. Now my opponent, when he's defending, he's like, okay, this player's making a run behind. Now he has to cut that passing lane and try to defend like that, as opposed to rushing to me straight away. That's what in turn gives me more space to pass the ball upwards. And as you can see, when I pass the ball to Neymar, now why does Neymar have so much space on the ball? It's because I sent Gelson Martins going forward. My opponent's left back had to cover that run, and that's what created a space for Neymar in the end. So the truth is, you're watching your favorite streamer saying, oh, they got so much space on the ball, but the most important thing is, are you the one that's creating the L1 trigger, so you're creating space in this region? Are you doing that? And that's the most important thing. At the end of the day, it's all about creating space. Use L1 triggers, send players forward, do quick 1-2s, create space, and then you'll eventually get into attacking opportunity. Recycle the ball, a combination of that. In a situation, it doesn't really work out in the end. I missed a shot, it was a bad angle. But the most important thing is creating space and creating movement. Now the last thing I want to talk about is being unpredictable. It sounds all simple, and to be honest, it is kind of hard for you to implement, but the most important thing is what a lot of elite players do, especially when they're attacking in the box, is they're very unpredictable. As you can see in the situation, I turn one way, let my opponent overcommit, then change around. Now I have Mbappe, but truthfully speaking, this could be done with 60k Baneda. It all starts with the attack, okay? So I end up winning the ball over here, got a bit lucky, win the ball. With Neymar, I see Mbappe making a run, I do a pass, I do a 1-2 backward. As I mentioned in my last clip, do that 1-2 backwards so you create movement with Mbappe. The most important thing is when Mbappe gets the ball like so, I know that Mbappe is left-footed. I want to ideally go on Mbappe's right foot because Mbappe's got decent shooting, but he hasn't got a 5-star weak foot. So what I do is I pretend to go one way and I flip the left analog stick the other way and I score. Now how do I do this? Now this is honestly so simple. This is one of the best tips I can give you. When you receive the ball in a situation, do a quick 1-2, wait until the defender is basically next to your opponent, then hold the left analog stick into the space you don't want to go in. So for example, like Keanu Mbappe, obviously you can go either foot, by the way. You can do the opposite side, but in this situation, I chose to go on Mbappe. Strong foot, I'm losing 2-1. I hold the left analog stick before the ball gets to me. I'm holding the left analog stick into the top right position because I want my first touch to be in opposite direction. What that does is I make that touch like that. My opponent has no choice but to react to try to close the angle out towards goal. Because if he doesn't do that, I can simply do a running fake shot or just do a fake shot or heel to heel, get past and take a shot towards goal. As soon as he overcommits, I then flick my left analog stick to the opposite side, so I quickly turn around, create this space and the angle towards goal, and take a shot towards goal. The question is, are you doing that? Are you being unpredictable? Are you just literally running down the line, then shoot on your strong foot every single time? Or are you outplaying your opponent? The most important thing is here, again, the first touch into the space. Letting my opponent overcommit. As soon as I see he's running that direction, hold my left analog stick the opposite way, change directions, and that's how I create the angle towards goal. That's the most important thing, is being unpredictable. Try to implement that into a game and I guarantee it will be a biggest game changer. I want to give you one final example before I end the video. An example of where I'm winning 7-1. But the most important thing is not necessarily the scoreline, is what I did. Here, I get the ball with Renato Sanchez. I get a bit lucky, I win the ball back. What's the first thing I do? Press the L1 button, so that player triggers going forward. He makes a run going forward. That's more of a distraction run, and that's what basically allowed my opponent to move away. He's now man marked in the danger area. I then pass the ball. I see Mbappe. What did I do to Mbappe again? What did I teach you? The L1 trigger like so. Now Mbappe makes a run going forward. Remember, face the play, press the L1 button. As you can see, yes, he makes a defensive mistake. But the most important thing is when I get the ball, again, I'm trying to outsmart my opponent. I slow down a little bit, pretend I'm going to cut inside, face a bit to the inwards angle, and then I do a fake shot around the goalkeeper, take the ball away, and I score the goal. But the most important thing is, what did I do? Did the L1 trigger, created a space, did a 1-2, and then did a fake shot around the goalkeeper to outsmart my opponent. The most important thing is implement everything that I've said in some way or some form, and that is the biggest difference if you want to get into the final third. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.